Hey everyone, I'm Z and I'm the director of Aussie Airwing, one of the founding members. What is Aussie Airwing to me? Well, to me, Aussie Airwing is a group of people where we always kind of have fun, chill out. We're not a hardcore kind of group where we stick to things like DCS is where we're mainly from and where we started. But we also kind of expand into other games for people who are already a part of the community. We do a bit of Star Citizen, Armor, but Aussie Airwing is primarily the people, the community, bringing together a bunch of like-minded people generally surrounded by DCS, to kind of create new and inventive servers to basically keep everyone together and just have fun. That's the main thing, is having fun. How did Aussie Airwing start? Aussie Airwing initially started as a group of me and five others on a Discord private, like a DMs chat. And we all just kind of started on a different server, and we were doing like a little air show is how we all met in essence, and we all kind of talked to each other. We initially were over SRS, and then we kind of like were talking, made a Discord together to share photos and stuff from that session, and we kind of just kept in touch. And then we started growing as we met more and more people, and it became the point where the DM chat couldn't actually fit the amount of people, so we went and created the server, which everyone's on now. Now, it wasn't originally called Aussie Airwing. It was called Top Gun Applicants was the first name. And we made up a squadron called 86 Venom, which still survives to this day. Venom Squadron is the Blue Squadron. Um, we've got no, Venom Squadron is blue, yes, and then we've also got the Redbacks, which is red. Um, and it's kind of signifying the two PvP sides. But Venom Squadron, the reason we went with 86 was because that's the year Top Gun was first released, at least the first one, and we just went with that. And eventually we progressed to Aussie PvP servers when we got our website and we needed a new name. We were expanding a bit more. Like that's when we got to about 50 or 60 people in the server population. And then we did a big rebrand, made it, more of a kind of official thing. We're an actual business. And that's when we went to Aussie Airwing, which is technically a subsidiary or a community run by the larger business. That's how Aussie Airwing started. How many hours have I spent coding patches and updates? Well, this is an interesting question. I can tell you, I play on the Steam edition, so it tracks my overall game hours. I can tell you how many hours exactly I've had on DCS on Steam, and roughly 80% of that or more is me coding patches. I've got, as of the time of filming this, 2,968.1 hours. I'm sure that'll be 3,000 hours by the end of the week. I spend at least 1 to 2 hours a day working on different things for the server, whether it's actually DCS related or not. But on average, I spend about 10 to 15 hours a week on different things. At least 10 of those hours are in development time between developing new servers, developing new code bases to basically like the statistics is in-house built, and that took a lot of time, and like just stuff like that where we can build our own things and make it do what we want from the ground up. So that's where I spend a lot of my time. I would say roughly coding patches, 2,500 ish hours at least. And that's very reflective. I'm a very poor pilot for the amount of hours I got on TCS. What are some major upcoming updates and how will they change the playstyle of players? Well, the big one that we've just released, that's been in development for the better part of a month or two, has been AI Life. Now, it's got a couple of bugs to work out. Nothing major. I know a lot of my older patches used to release with a lot of bugs, and I've kind of spent more time developing them to stop that. But we've got so AI Life just released, which basically affects how AI will be more in responsive and stuff as zones change hands. Like it goes from being like, say, for example, in Caucasus, if the Sochi area goes from being blue to red planes will start flying down there and patrolling that area to kind of keep it safe. Basically makes AI more reactive to the environment around it. AIM's undergoing a big rework. making it more true to life in terms of like how radar works, in terms of radar cross sections, how visible you're going to see if you fly close together. You're going to look like one big aircraft rather than two small aircraft. That's kind of going a big thing. Plus, also a lot of optimizations and stuff to allow those to happen without any performance degradation. That's still probably a month or two out because I have to code in RCS values, make it track, make it update, and still have the individual updates going out. It's not a complete rework as such because I can bring over 10 to 15% of the original code to basically like how it detects people and stuff in terms of ground level and stuff like that. About 10 to 15% of the code can be reused, but for the most part, it's a ground up rebuild, and just when I need those, I will drag them in, otherwise, I develop the new ones. Other than that, until the new dynamic campaigns, like the dynamic borders and stuff, comes in, that's the two big ones that we're going to see. There's a JTAC rework coming in. There's a new, like, SMS is what I'm calling it, which is the shareable mission system that's coming in soon. Supply manager, which basically is planes flying around to resupply bases and such and capture them. That's released on Afghanistan at the minute, but it has a few more bug fixes to do before releasing into Caucasus. Those are the big ones. There's a couple of other smaller things, things that I haven't mentioned yet that are in development because if it doesn't work out or if it too like it degrades the performance too much, I won't release it into the larger test series. Um, there's also a couple of code reworks on. We build everything off of Zone Commander, in terms of like the base stuff, but there's a lot of reworks and changes I've made to the initial code to basically make it more work in line with what we want. So that stuff's also happening in the background. If you're interested in seeing what I'm doing or what the server's doing and kind of like have your input on the website, you go to www.aussieairwing.com.au/AAW roadmap. You can see all the stuff I'm working on. Whenever I'm developing new modules, as long as it's not a hidden one, I'll update its progress on there. I literally just have it on the side screen, and whenever I do a new update or internal testing, if I release it to a server, I'll update it on there so you can see what we're currently doing. How do I feel about the server's growth and the amount of new players joining the servers? I love seeing the servers grow. I wish there was a way to accurately track how many impressions we make. I kind of just see people join and leave the servers. I'll check in once a day and see how many people have joined and left to determine, is this something that, like, is this server still worth running? Is it worth swapping out during the rebuild? I know towards the end of the Caucasus patch, version 5, before I did the complete rebuild, there was a lot of issues and people weren't having as fun a time and there were less people joining or staying for less amount of time. So I redid it, and that's really spiced things up a bit again. People are staying for longer. Performance is a lot better, so people aren't like disappearing after 30 minutes because if there's like more than 14 or 15 people on the server will stutter sometimes. That for the most part is fixed. That's why we did the big rework. That's when we did a lot of that. But for the most part, I love seeing people join. I always want to see more people join the server, and of course, we're doing new things now. Like we're actually putting together a campaign development team to kind of expand our growth. You know, make custom single player and multiplayer campaigns for people to play. I've got a few things coming up with that, so I hope you guys are gonna like it. And I hope you guys will actually like play the campaigns. I feel like it'll be a fun experience for everyone. But yeah, that's been me. If you have any questions, please always feel free to reach out to me on the Discord. I'm always active. I'm active at least once a day, even if you don't see me active in a chat. I drop in. I literally look at the Discord 3 to 4 times a day. If I'm mentioned, I'm on the next possible moment. I work between. I do full-time work and uni. So, well, part-time work now and uni. So, I'm always constantly doing something, and then in my free time, it's Aussie Airwing, and I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to the people. I'm always free to jump in a chat if anyone wants to chat, if in a like a voice channel if anyone wants to chat, and anything like that. Yeah, thank you all for listening to me. As a side note, I do tend to I say rant, but it's more so extend sentences longer than they really need to be. I'm horrible at being concise. So, yeah, have fun dealing with that. Um, Hope you guys do all enjoy the servers, though. Please always feel free to reach out. Thank you guys and have a great night.